When it comes to making a responsible energy decision for your family and the planet, choose clean natural gas from Atmos Energy. Natural gas is safer and more reliable than other energy solutions and can reduce your home's carbon emissions by up to 45%. By using less total energy than other energy sources, natural gas lowers your impact on the environment. It's just another way that Atmos Energy makes your life better. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Welcome to week 12 of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at the Shoppers Value on Plank Road. Coach, we start this week talking about the Southern Jaguars. 7 players land on the all-SWAC football team. Yet another testament to the awesome job that Coach Dawson Odoms has done with limited resources.
Oh yeah, he's done a really good job. And I think what he's done that have impressed me is that he and his staff have put the kids in position where they can be successful. Now, they were short in some area, but they found schemes that they could get the kids to believe in, and they executed, which allowed them to make all-SWAC.
And of course, when you are out recruiting and you're shorthanded, you're still facing some sanctions down the road, it really helps when you can go and sit in a parent's living room with that young man and be able to say what you've accomplished and done all that, again, shorthanded.
And again, the kids that they are recruiting, the parents are high character parents for the most part. They know their kids are not going to go play in the SEC school.
Right.
So they want all of the ABCs for their kid. Good leadership, someone who is going to stay on them about getting their academic, and the kids work hard to be better people. So I think that's where Coach Odom and his staff can really become winners.
Another thing that has really stood out to me, Coach, is the fact that Dawson Odoms has not relied on a whole bunch of junior college transfers like a lot of other guys in his position would have done. Now, he has hinted that he may have to get 1 or 2 for the upcoming season to help fill some voids, but all in all, he's not relied on the junior college route. That says a lot about him as a coach, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's not that he doesn't want to. It's because the system at Southern, having coached at Southern, we can't get in junior college players. And the reason we can't get them in is that we don't have the subject matters that we could put their classes in that they took there that would make them eligible. So it's a very difficult situation.
Is that one of the reasons maybe, and I don't want to put you in a position to have to speak for him, but one of the most successful coaches of all time in Southern football, Pete Richardson, never wanted to go the junior college route?
Yeah, well, that was a little different time when Pete coached. That was a compliment of more players for him, and he didn't, because usually JC kids do have some baggage that they bring along with them. That's why they went there. But more and more schools, if you see Alabama signing them, a defensive back, LSU just signed a defensive lineman. You almost have to do it to be competitive, because that high school kid is a progression. They need to learn stuff and get stronger before they could play in D1 football.
Understanding what some of these young men may have gone through that are in the JUCO route, what does your heart tell you? Who wants to be there more? The freshman that's looking to come on campus and play for 4 years, or the junior college kid who's looking for some redemption?
Well, it could be both. I mean, I couldn't put it in one category. Everyone wants to be there and want to do well. So it's not really, but the JC player know his time is limited.
True.
So he's got to work harder. He's got to produce quicker. And so that's the one reward that a program gets, is that if you can get the right kid who really want to work hard and get better, that JC kid can fit the bill.
When we come back, we'll shift gears and talk a little LSU Tiger football on this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawing for the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, one family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. We come to you this week from the Shoppers Value on Plank Road. You know, we are in that turnaround part of the year, in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And of course, you just spent a lot of money laying out that nice Thanksgiving spread. So value is more important than ever as you get ready to prepare meals for the holidays. And that's where the great folks at Shoppers Value come in. We've all got to eat, we all need food, and we all appreciate value. Why not combine all of the above? Shoppers Value Foods, there's one, always located near you, proud sponsors of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, segment 2, we switch gears. LSU star running back Darius Geis coming out lately and saying that he plans to play in the upcoming Citrus Bowl. Does that surprise you any?
A little, but you know what? He needs to play because he was hurt part of the year. And the more people see him play, the better his chances are to tell him in January, bye-bye, I'll see you later.
We talked about junior college transfers in our Southern segment, and announced this week, Coach Orgeron saying that he's received a verbal commitment from the top defensive player in junior college ranks in all of America. Does the pressure cooker of LSU expectations make you look in that direction whether you want to or not?
Well, you have to win. And, you know, I heard something that was just astonishing. How many coaches have been hired in the SEC?
Yes.
Like 40-some since Nick Saban has been the coach.
Wow.
And the reason, and they're all paying like Jimbo Fisher, that $75 million.
Right.
They're paying until you're not going to beat Nick Saban.
Yeah.
You're not, and that's the sad thing, that college football is paying enormous amount of money to coaches who can't jump over Alabama.
Yeah, a lot of folks call that the Nick Saban effect. Speaking of pressure cookers, it was also announced this week, and I'm glad you brought this up, LSU has by far the highest paid assistant coaching staff for football in the entire country. Does that surprise you any? And as a result of that payroll, what sort of expectations come along with that, Coach?
Well, you know, they expect him to win. I want to go back to Nick Saban in Alabama for a second here.
Okay.
You can expect that the quality of football at Alabama probably is going to take a dip. He lost Smart to
Right.
Georgia a couple of years ago. He lost Steele to Tennessee this year.
Right.
The two coordinators, he's lost good people. Now, the thing that tells me, having been a coach, and I've lost a lot of assistant coaches to Major League Baseball, it's difficult to replace good coaches. No matter how much money you pay, it's just that you lose continuity when you lose good people.
Of course, now you talk about the expectations at LSU. I did a quick peek before this week's show. Week 13 of the NFL season, there are more than 40 LSU Tigers on NFL rosters, another half dozen or so on practice squads. Those numbers say a lot about the expectations and a lot about the program meeting those expectations.
Yeah, it says both, expectation and program. But kids making it from college to pro doesn't mean that they're going to win in college.
Right.
Because sometimes kids play for the pro rather than the team in college.
It's all about the Benjamin.
It's a Benjamin type factor right here.
It's the Benjamin factor. When we come back, we'll talk a little pro football on this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close. The Benjamin.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawing for the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
Welcome back for segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. You know, it is, of course, the holiday season, and it's the time of year that we stop and reflect upon the things that matter the most to us. All the many blessings that we have on our plate. And, of course, it's hard to appreciate all those without having the gift of good health. That's where the great folks at Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center step up to the plate, whether it's in geriatric, pediatric, or all points in between. Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center. So good to know that we have folks in this area dedicated to ensuring the gift of good health. Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, proud sponsors of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, let's talk a little professional football here. Saints lose a heartbreaker. Division game to the Dirty Birds, no less. Good thing they had a little cushion built in because of that run that they went on early in the season.
Yeah, well, that's a tough division.
Oh, yeah.
You got 3 teams, maybe 4, but you have Carolina, the Falcons, and the Saints all playing very well. And they're going to be all right in there. And this is why you and I had talked about that early in the year,
right?
That you just got to keep playing every week. You really don't know when people go out, you lose some key players. It hurt. For instance, Philadelphia lost that quarterback. It's going to affect them.
Oh, yeah.
Because you lose the chemistry.
Yeah.
You know.
And of course, the next opponent, the Jets, shorthanded after starting quarterback Josh McCown goes down with a broken hand. But even still, when you're at this level of play, folks are still going to play you tough no matter what.
And the Jets were playing good with McCowan.
Yeah.
And they still may be able to put themselves together, lift themselves up, and give the Saints a really good game because they'll be playing a lot of games in a short period of time. That's another a Sunday, Thursday, Sunday.
Right.
So you got to watch that effect.
Rookie Alvin Kamara. This guy just continues to shine. So far, he's racked up 5 Rookie of the Week awards so far this season. How far can this young man go, Coach?
Well, the thing is, he's fresh. You know, Nick Saban had him at Alabama.
Right.
And he didn't play and went to Tennessee. And then he didn't burn himself out. Now, the Saints made a steal in the 4th round getting this young man. So I really like him. He gives them a dual threat with his running and catching the ball out of the backfield.
When you have a guy playing at that level, how infectious is that on the rest of the team?
It is. They love it. He's a youngster. He appears to be very coachable, which is always good. And when he's coachable, the veteran players could put their arms around him and get a lot done with that way.
And, of course, you're always going to have that mind game thing going. I'm not going to let this young guy outplay me, so I got to step my game up as well.
Well, too, and that could be the Alabama connection here with the other running back,
Mark Ingram.
Ingram,
right?
Where they're both for playing. Maybe they're competing against. They competed against each other at Alabama.
True. Good point.
So now they're really competing again with the Saints. So it's a lot of good humor thing going on.
I hadn't thought about it in that regard. When we come back, our special correspondent, Aaron Fulbright, has a special look at a guy that throughout the years has supported Southern University athletics, but maybe more important than that, this guy is big on Baton Rouge. It's a guy we all know, and we'll have that coming up next when we come back with segment 4 of this week's edition of The Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Pod's moving in storage.
I need to clean out my study.
We'll deliver a container.
My brother-in-law's moving in.
Maybe he'll help you pack.
He's lazy.
We can refer some professionals.
It's just until he finds work.
We can keep things at our storage center for as long as it takes.
I am not happy about this.
Or you can keep your things on site for quick unloading.
Did you say freeloading?
I said unloading.
I heard freeloading.
I'm sure you did.
Store on site or let us drive your things to our secure storage center. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
Welcome back for segment 4 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. You know, Coach, the name Hiller Moore is a name that all longtime Baton Rougeans know. He was a longtime supporter of your efforts at Southern in the baseball program, and he's just as adamant about his love for Baton Rouge, and more important, helping us deal with this rising crime problem facing Baton Rouge. Special correspondent Aaron Fulbright has more. Aaron, take it away.
Has seen a rise in crime and murders over the last year. It seems a lot over the last month. Our law enforcement, our mayor, and our district attorney are doing their part to make sure our city stays safe. But we as citizens can do our part as well. I'm here to talk with Hiller Moore, district attorney, to see what we can do as citizens to make our place safer. District Attorney Hiller Moore is a good friend of Roger Cador and a longtime supporter of both Southern University and LSU, especially their baseball programs. But when he isn't supporting the universities, he's out in the community trying to make it a safer place. The District Attorney's Office is charged with the responsibility of prosecuting most of the more serious criminal cases that happen within the parish of Baton Rouge. But this year there has been a rise within homicides for the city, one of the most we have seen in modern times, Moore says.
Right at that level to where, at least in modern time that I know of, and I've been around for 44 years in this system here in Baton Rouge, we're probably at the level now, if not to where this would be the most amount of homicides that we've ever seen. Last year was actually our best year in recent times, to back in the 1980s. Last year in the city of Baton Rouge, I think we had 40 homicides, which is the best number for us. We were averaging around 84 homicides a year in the parish.
Serving as DA for 10 years, Moore said they are stepping up their game in planning for 2018 and working hard to make Baton Rouge a safer community for everyone. The toughest part of his job, he says, is the effect that brutal incidents have on families, but also when he doesn't have enough information to solve a case.
Well, you know, it's dealing with the constant amount of people who are victims of some very brutal offenses, and seeing how that devastates not only that person or that family, but how it devastates generations of family. And you and I are sitting here talking now in Christmas season, holiday season. You can only imagine, and now being here 10 years, I now see how this affects generations of families and children. For any event, it's a wedding, it's a graduation, it's Christmas, it's Easter. They always have that empty chair, or someone has been, brutalized. That's the difficult part, but the really more difficult part is when you have a family member who's been killed, something terrible has happened to them, and you just don't have enough information or evidence to go forward to bring justice, to bring them closure, to try to explain that to a family. It's very, very difficult.
Moore also stated that data has found that most crimes seem to happen within 100 feet of blighted property. This has been a project he has teamed up with the mayor and other organizations to combat.
Maybe the blighted property has something to do with it in one way or the other, some connection. So we're working with the mayor's office and all the other agencies to see how we can address blighted property and what can we do to make these communities better, safer.
But how can the community do their job? Moore said the lack of legitimacy and trust has to be answered on both sides, but the community can help by speaking.
Just focus on that person who is causing all the trouble. That also incorporates the community. So in order to know those things, we not only look at data, but we go out in the community and talk to the people, walk the streets to say, tell me what's your problem in this street, in this neighborhood. 99% of the people that live in the hardest hit areas of Baton Rouge where all the murders are, 99% of them are law-abiding, good people that want to be left alone and live in peace. But there's a person in that neighborhood, in that street, that everybody knows that's causing trouble, but no one wants to say anything because they're afraid.
I think Hiller Moore has one of the toughest jobs in the city, but he needs our help to make his job a little bit easier and to help create safer communities. He told us his office is always open. It's located in City Hall downtown on the 5th floor. Plenty of opportunities to just walk in and report a crime. But then there's also Crime Stoppers where you don't have to give your name or anything like that. But they do just need you to speak if you see something. We got to do our part.
Aaron, as always, great job. Thank you. When we come back, we will wrap up this week's edition of The Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Pause moving and storage.
We just sold our house.
Congratulations.
We have 2 weeks to move.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We might need help.
We'll refer trusted packers.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other. One family-sized water park. and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Beep, beep.
Welcome back for the closing segment of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show, coming to you from the Shoppers Value on Plank Road. Coach, Baton Rouge area teams, 4 for 4 high school football championships. That's a heck of a record. Do you think folks really appreciate the level of high school football that's played in the Baton Rouge area?
Well, I know there are schools outside of the state that does.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, so they'll be coming in here trying to take them. I'm hoping we could keep some of those players here in the city. That way their parents can come see them play, their fans and cousins. So let's see what happens.
West Feliciana High School was a great success story. Coach Rob Odom, 23 years as the coach there, got knocked out in the semifinals the last 3 years in a row. Finally makes it to the big dance and brings it home. They don't make stories like that anymore, Coach.
That's right. Was the city still there when they got back?
No, they all moved to New Orleans.
But that's a great story. Coach, congratulations on a job well done.
Are the days of a coach staying around that long? Are those days gone forever, Coach?
Yeah, because millennials are going to come in and they don't stay any place more than a year or two and they'll be gone. So he's a dying breed, to be honest with you.
Best advice you would give to a young person right now that's considering going into coaching?
You have to understand the parents got more say-so than they ever had before, and you're going to have to learn to deal with them.
Well, it is what it is, and as a wise man once said, it's going to be what it's going to be. That's going to wrap it up for us this week. On behalf of the coach, the crew, I'm Clarence Muggs. We'll see you next week with another edition of the Roger Cador Show. Till then, go Jags.